This is based off of the fact of what? Premium and discount. A lot of guys ask me why I use the Fibonacci retracement tool, guys, and check this out. A block over here, right? We can come in with the sell limit relatively in between here, stop loss just up a high above this high, and then take profit this low over here. Welcome back to another YouTube video of FlareFX, where we make trading very simple. It is another week, it is another dollar. If you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications, because I post this type of content every single week. So now this week, guys, as you can see by the title, it's NASDAQ, GER30 and gold. It is the election special, guys. We have the elections coming up on the 5th of November, so watch till the end, guys, because they're going to be gems. I'll be going in deep, especially all of these pairs, so watch till the end. If you like this type of content, give it a like. YouTube likes that, guys, but nonetheless, let's get into it. All right, so this is NASDAQ on the daily time frame, guys. We'll start off with this guy. We're looking at it from the higher time frame perspective, right? So we're gonna zoom out just a little bit, but in and of its own, guys, looking at market structure, right, NASDAQ has been on an uptrend. The only thing that's disturbing me is this fair value cap that we have over here. I'm genuinely tempted to understand how far NASDAQ will retrace. Even if I pull out my Fibonacci retracement tool all the way to the top over here, it still is highlighting this. So we can find that now we are retracing slowly to the downside to respect this guy, right? So now I think the best way to understand this thing is if you go deeper into the time frames, like your 4-hour time frame. Now we'll tap into the 4-hour time frame. As you guys can see, price has been on an uptrend. Bingo bango pushes all the way to the top, and we've officially changed character relatively over here, right? Bingo bango, got a nice change of character, and then price has sunken all the way to the downside. Now NFP happened on Friday, so it's always genuinely crazy when NFP happens, and then the next week we have elections, CPI, PPI. Like, it's a whole mirage of news events, guys. I would even say next week just stay away from the markets, but if you're someone who has a risk appetite and really trust yourself, I think you could give it a chance, guys. You know, so price did push all the way to the downside. We can see that price did push liquidity, so it's indicating that price wouldn't want to go any higher, right? And the fair value gaps that are above here are not as significant as this one, right? So we still are anticipating this thing will drop, right, all the way to the downside, but we just have to be very mindful, guys. And at the end of the day, there's really not much price action to the left to really cater off of it, right? So we can see we have a change of character. Change of character indicates trend reversal, so we're really anticipating that this thing wants to keep on going lower and lower. Now in terms of the retracement, we can already see that it already got to this point. I think when we tap into the 1-hour time frame, we're going to see such beauty. We can see that it already feel that some of the fair value gap, we can even say half of it almost. Let's see. Yeah, relatively, literally just by the tip of the half of it, and then it pushed all the way to the downside. So we can find it pushing up just to fill it out completely and then sink all the way to the downside, which is very interesting to see how these fundamentals are gonna really hinder this guy, NASDAQ, right? A lot of people are saying that they're planning on buying NASDAQ already, right? And I'm to be honest, guys, it's still early to tell, like, especially since the elections are still coming up. We really need to be as patient as we possibly can, but I am expecting a lot of volatility, especially from NASDAQ. But nonetheless, guys, this is what I am seeing for the week. It's not necessarily an entry bias, more so like a market bias. Like, we're seeing price push all the way to the downside. We see that it pushed some liquidity and pushed all the way to the top. We can anticipate this is a change of character, but we understand that we already have a change of character in the higher time frame. So this is just looking like a retracement, something very similar to this. Price pushing up, filling it out, and continuing going all the way to the downside. So that's what I do anticipate. So in terms of entry, right, I would even argue that we could just go off of this zone over here, right? I think when you go to the 4-hour time frame, we have a nice order block that shows up. Yes, there you go, beautiful. We could look into going to that, right? But the rating you see on the 4-hour time frame looks like it's been filled out, but the lower time frames do give us the best opportunity yet, right? So you could come in over here with your Gantt box as well. You could take half of this order block over here, right? We can come in with the sell limit relatively in between here, stop loss just up a high above this high, and then take profit this low over here that we have over here. For a nice 1:4, if you're someone who's really greedy, you could hold it all the way to the downside towards this, or hold it all the way to the downside towards this NASDAQ fair value gap that we can spot on the daily time frame. Over to the daily time frame like this. So now obviously we could be targeting this guy that we have all the way to the downside over here, guys. So it is genuinely interesting to see how far NASDAQ can push all the way to the downside It's just a matter of really being patient and really waiting for it to really play out. But nonetheless, let's go over to GER30. All right. So this is GER30 on the daily time frame. As you guys can see, this thing has been on an uptrend, guys. One thing I like about GER30 is that the price action is so much cleaner, right? So now, as you can see, one thing for sure that I was really anticipating and really looking at the team is we can see that we have a break of structure over here, POS, and we have another break of structure over here, POS. Right, and I want you guys to take the time to walk with me, especially when I break down GER30. This is going to be on the daily time frame, and look how we dissect this thing just from the daily time frame alone, guys. And a lot of people say, what is this? You can't really trade off of the daily time frame alone. So now, like I said, guys, the premise of the strategy is understanding that once a high makes a low and pushes all the way to the top, we want what? The range, right? So we can have a low over here and a high over here, right? So we want the range first to print out, and the only thing we're looking for is to what? To get the Fibonacci retracement tool and execute based off of a level like this, right? So we wait for price to what? Come in all the way to the downside over here, right? Respect the zone and push all the way to the top, right? So now this is based off of the fact of what? Premium and discount. A lot of guys ask me why I use the Fibonacci retracement tool, guys, and check this out, right? Bingo bango. This premium and discounting shows you once price makes a low and pushes all the way to the top. This shows you this is the premium price, is the most expensive over here, so it makes sense to sell it, especially if it's on an uptrend, and it only makes sense to buy a price or buy something when it's at its discounted value. Either or, guys. Imagine if I was selling shoes. If shoes relatively cost 5,000 rand or $5,000 when they are most expensive, if you have them, you'd want to sell them because you can make the most money, and then when they drop maybe to 3K, you'd want to buy them again because you know they're at the most cheapest, right? And that's the same thing with any asset and any instrument, guys. And I've noticed with indices, they retrace to this level over here. So now I'll remove this, guys. So now once you understand that level, guys, you have to move with a sense of discretion. Because why am I saying this? Look at this, right? We do have a low, we do have a high, right? We've marked out our range the same way I showed you just now, right? Now the only thing we're waiting for is to price come to our zone, right? So now I'll pull out the fib just to show you that this doesn't work 100% of the time. Price did come all the way to the downside, but why? We didn't have, what is this, a clean market structure at the side, because we look for more than one thing. We look for a clear break of structure, we look for a purge of liquidity, and then we can pull out the Fibonacci retracement tool. For this one, we didn't have anything, so we didn't necessarily pull out this guy, right? So now that doesn't mean you can't still trade this thing. Why am I saying this? Is because when you pull out the Fibonacci retracement tool, the Gantt box, my bad, it shows you this is the price at its most expensive and price at its most cheapest. Hence why we're seeing this movement on the downside, right? Because buyers are coming in. Now when we tap over to the 4-hour time frame, this is where things look a little bit more beautiful, because we can already see price pushed all the way to the downside, but what did it come in respect to? This fair value gap over here. Bingo bango, that's why we have this reaction, and we can already see that we have a change of character relatively over here, right? Bingo bango. Right, so now price is at its most cheapest right now. It would make sense for you to be buying what? DAX index or the GER30, right? So now when I tap over to the 1-hour time frame, this is where things get a little bit more fun, because here's the same thing. This is the range you're playing in, the low over here and the high over here. So with this one, we can already see that there is a purge of liquidity over here. Price does have a clear change of structure or break of structure, right? Now we can come in over here and pull out the what? The Fibonacci retracement tool. Bingo bango, we pull out the Fibonacci retracement tool, and it highlights this fair value gap that we are already looking at already, right? Bingo bango. This is the thing, guys. You don't necessarily need to, use the Fibonacci retracement tool, but it helps you so much, especially let's say you're caught up in this. Let's say this is the 1-hour time frame and you saw these two BPR, like a BPR, or basically two fair value gaps, like one after the other, right? You as a trader have to really take the time to be like, okay, cool, which one am I taking? Which one is it going to retrace to? So with the Fibonacci retracement tool, it just clears all the guesswork away, makes it easier for you to really kill it, right? So now this is the 1-hour time frame. We got this. When we tap over to the 30-minute time frame, we see that it's much more cleaner. So we can come in over here and really fix it up. Now you can come in over here, right, and place your buy limit relatively maybe just by the beginning of the fair value gap, or following the strategy just there. Stop loss relatively just by that low. Take profit 1, take profit 2, right? That's a 1:5, guys. Usually I go for like a 1:2. I don't try to be greedy because the account size I'm trading with is a bit decent, or maybe 1:3, even going as greedy as you want, 1:5, even, or 1:6. Basically this is like a 1:6, right? So we'll remove that. And this is where we can see basically what it just showed us is just we can execute based on the fair value gap. Let price do its thing, and it's gonna be at its discounted rate, because when I pull this out all the way to the top like this, we can see you're gonna be buying price at this most discounted price, and then you can hold it, guys. You can genuinely hold it, even if I tap over to the daily time frame and I extend this all the way to the far right. You can hold it. Like, look, there's still so much fair value gap that needs to be filled out. So we'll see how that moves. But now let's move over to gold. All right. So with gold, guys, it's this one is more of a fundamental thing, right? The elections are coming up, like I said in the beginning of the video. So with gold, guys, this is the secret that I'm gonna put you on. When there's an uncertainty in the market, some things like the election, like a war, a lot of the people would like to put their money, especially in assets or commodities like gold, right? Because it's a safe haven, guys. Gold has been a safe haven for since I've known trading pairs. If anything happens, gold always is the one that really pushes, right? And we see this because gold was at its all-time high around this week, actually Tuesday. Gold is at its all-time high once again, guys. As you guys can see, leading up to the election, gold just keeps on soaring, right? And we've seen it since February. People have just been investing, and we got to this point over here, right? So now it makes no sense to be selling gold, because I feel like a lot of people are still in fear. And also, guys, the year is coming to an end. A lot of people just really like to pull out of their investments invested in gold, let their money sit over there, right? So you have to also understand where the investors are thinking of, right? But same premise of a strategy, guys. As I said, we first need to understand what the market structure is telling us, so we can already know what we're looking for. We have a break of structure with gold. It's straightforward. Price has just been rallying all the way to the top. Even if you are blind, you can see this. So now price has been pushing all the way to the top, and now with gold it's totally different, mainly because we use a different Fibonacci retracement code. Gold does retrace to the 50%, guys. So we'll come in over here like that, push it all the way to the top, change it over to gold. Gold retraces to the 50%. As you already can see, it's just relatively way around that fair value gap, right? So now this is on the daily time frame, guys. Can you see, I've watched so many podcasts and I've watched so many traders, guys. If you're a day trader or a scalper, it's hard for you to see consistency in the long run because the risk exposure is too crazy, right? And the most profitable guys I've seen are swing traders, guys. People that stick on the 4-hour time frame, 1 hour time frame, 1 week time frame, 1 month time frame, because it's you getting in at price. You're trading like an actual trader, guys. Day trading is something that, for us retailers is another way to just make quick cash. So it's hard, but it's possible, but it's just that it's a tough one, But now with gold, another thing that's making me really happy about this retracement tool is that gold, when it fills out the fair value gaps, it's very aggressive. It's not like your German 30s where it just fills them out a small wick and then keeps on moving. With gold, it fills them out heavy, guys. It doesn't play. Even with this one, fills out heavy. Look at this guy, it fills out heavy. Look at this one, relatively something similar to that perspective, guys, right? So even if you can pull out the Fibonacci retracement tool, as you can see, it's like copy and paste, guys, right? Price pushes up 50%, price pushes up 50%, price pushes up 50%. That's how gold moves, and it has been moving, guys. So now we can see that relatively right now we're preparing for gold to come all the way to this zone over here. I'll even highlight it like this, right? Bingo bango, right? And then when we tap over to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have a nice fair value gap that's highlighting over here, right? Now it makes sense for you to just clean it out like this. Now you can see, where would you want to be? The best possible position to be as a trader is put your buy limit over here, stop loss just relatively below over here, because gold is a bit aggressive, especially when it fills out these fair value gaps, guys. And then you can hold it, guys. I would even say after you get this one, don't just move your stop to break even and keep on moving your stop losses. The higher it goes, you just keep on following it, and that's the plan, guys. Because for this entry over here, I missed it, guys. I think I was trading the funded account and I got taken out mainly because of the CPI, guys. I took buys over here this week, literally chopped my account, right? Mainly because of slippage, guys, because of the risk management these prop firms have. And then it just kept on soaring, guys. But for me, it wasn't necessarily a thing of I was hurt. It was just understanding that the skills there, genuinely the skills there, and then opportunities always come back, guys. Like, and that's why it's always good not to have FOMO. As you can see now, we are in another position. Gold is granting us another chance to really catch the swing, So we just have to wait for it to come all the way to the downside like this, tap us in over here, and then keep on flying. Remember, guys, the elections are coming up, so it's always crazy to see how gold does move, and really, really, really make sure that we're in a proper position to really take this thing to the moon, right? But nonetheless, that's what I do see. The word of the week, as usual, we do this for the guys that watch till the end. I always appreciate you. Now, the word of the week is like I say, guys, I always try to wing this one. Whatever flows into my head is whatever I'll talk about. But it's understanding that with the markets that we are trading, guys, as you already can see, if you can really lock in on the scale and really understand where you're trying to take this, it becomes so much easier because you are your own money printing machine, right? Just sit down, get the skill in, guys. Put your reps in, put your thing. Signals are only just a short-term thing. Even if you can get a mentorship, mentors, guys, like even if you can have a successful mentor, that doesn't mean you're gonna be successful, right? You still have to put in the work. You still need to go through the pain, and that's something that I didn't believe in the beginning of the stages, right? So it's always important to really take the step to really push and grind, right? I have my own mentorship. If you guys are interested, what I try and do is really, really help the clients really cater to the things that they really need. And I tell people like this, it's not, for me, it's not even clients on client. Once you get in my mentorship, it's more so like a friendship thing. I would even say I'm more so friends with a lot of my clients, and we really push these charts, guys. We have sessions every Wednesday and every Sunday, something similar to this, but imagine now you actually can ask questions rather than just watching the video from the other side of the screen, right? So now there is my link down over there. Click it, contact me. I'll let you know what everything is, the questions that you have. I'll let you know even the price and everything, guys. But if you watch till the end, really appreciate it. It's another week, it's another dollar. Stay safe, guys. It is the election week, so make sure you are trading wisely and understand that there's a whole lot of risk management that needs to be involved next week. But nonetheless, it is your mentor signing out.